Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to show you a very short and simple practice that gives your lower back a signal to release. So it could be quite a relief when you're feeling a lot of tension or potentially pain in that area. But you could also use it preventively anytime. The first thing would be to make your way down and then move a little bit so that you're giving yourself a bit of a massage for the lower back and sacrum area. A little bit of movement always a good idea before you come into complete stillness. And those could be really micro movements if you currently feeling this is a bit sore or unpleasant. Eventually, you're going to cross one ankle over the other ankle. Now, there is a tiny bit of engagement, a little flexion in the ankle. But you don't want them to be completely tense. You don't want your leg muscles to be tense. The only reason you're going to include this tiny bit of an engagement in the feet and ankles is so that the legs will stay in place. So basically, if you wanted to keep your legs just like this without crossing them, and you wanted the legs to relax completely, what would happen is that they would drop out to the sides eventually, right? So this is what keeps them in place. This kind of crossing. Doesn't matter which way you're gonna go, whichever feels more comfortable. Cross the ankles, and then you're allowing the weight of your legs to drop towards your belly and towards your torso. You're not pulling in anything, you're not trying to bring anything. It's just the weight of the legs themselves that is dropping towards you, so that the neck, the shoulders, and the arms can stay completely relaxed on the ground. And once you settle into the position that you feel it requires no effort from you, you can start focusing on your breath. And you're going to make a bit more purposeful inhalations that dive really deep into the bottom of the lungs. So maybe slightly deeper ones than you're used to. And you want to feel that on the inhalation, your abdomen expands, and then on exhalation, it releases and the belly sinks towards the floor. So the inhalation and exhalation is through the nose, unless it feels particularly nice for you to exhale through the mouth with a sound. And you might feel or sense that inhalation that causes the expansion of the abdomen makes the abdomen to press into your thighs a little bit more when you inhale. And then the belly softens and sinks towards the back. So pay attention to that exhalation and maybe even visualize that when you exhale, that belly sinks and softens towards the lower back, and visualize the lower back sinking and softening towards the floor as well every time you exhale. So there's nothing to do, nothing to change, nothing to deepen. You're only observing your breath and paying attention to those long exhales. Exhales bringing a softening both in the belly and in the lower back. You can easily stay here for quite a while, obviously, so long as that feels comfortable for your legs and for your hips. If you feel that you need to change the cross of the ankles, you can easily do that. And eventually, you're going to uncross the legs, but still keep them in the air, and then go for a very, very slow process of lowering these feet to the ground. So listen carefully. You're going to lower one leg at a time, and the first thing would be to rotate the leg inwards so that the knee drops a little bit across the midline of the body. And then it's in a really slow pace that your foot will be going towards the floor, and the first point of contact, just one point of contact, would be when your big toe or the tip of the big toe lands on the ground. Now sometimes you have your foot really tense when you do that, and that's when the cramp might happen. So think of keeping your foot soft and receiving the support through that big toe. So if you land on the big toe, you might feel immediately that there is some release happening somewhere within that one side of the pelvis. Now the next movement will be to lower all the toes, and at the same time use that opportunity to spread that half of the pelvis really wide on the floor, as if you're spreading butter on the toast or peanut butter. And then the heel is still in the air. Now imagine that your knee could stay exactly where it is, and your heel could drop away as if there was some weight attached to it, and the leg could grow longer. So the heel is slowly dropping away until that whole foot lands on the ground. And just notice how that half of the pelvis rests on the ground. And then let's do the same with the other side. So you internally rotate the leg, and then there is this very, very slow process of lowering the foot to the ground. The first point of contact is the tip of the big toe. Once that lands, you could really rest the weight through the pelvis and through the big toe. Then you're going to lower the all the remaining toes, and at the same time really spread that half of the pelvis wide, wide, wide on the mat. The heel is still in the air, and then the heel will be dropping away very slowly as if there's some weight attached to it. And imagine that it was possible for the knee to stay exactly where it is while the heel lands on the ground. You might make some tiny adjustments of the position of the feet on the ground, but without losing that sensation of the spread out pelvis on the ground. Just observe how it is to be resting in this position. Sometimes it might even feel more restful if you gently tuck one shoulder blade under and the other shoulder blade under. So that creates a tiny bit more of an arch, but it's like a relaxed arch. There is no tension in the back in this shape. And stay here for a couple of breaths, allowing the feet to sink vertically down with all the weight, the pelvis to become even wider and heavier on the ground, the shoulder blades to become heavy and spread on the ground, and the head to be heavy. Stay here for as long as you need to. And when you're coming out, remember first you roll to the side and always support yourself with your hands to come up. I hope that you like this simple practice and that it caused a big change to the way you feel. And if you found my video because you're currently struggling with pain, then I invite you to download my short free audio, The First Aid for Pain. And you can find it here, and I will also link it below. See you next time.